China invented and first used the word chemistry. Chemistry in English is called chemistry, and it is said that its Latin is chemica, mixed with chemicals. The West themselves officially say that their chemistry came from the alchemy of the Arabs, known as alchemia. In fact, the alchemy of the Arabs evolved from the alchemy of turning stones into gold by the ancient Chinese. The Quanzhou language of golden liquid is Kim-Ya, and Quanzhou was the most prosperous trading port in the Tang dynasty. At that time, maritime trade was carried out with the Arabs. Yang Liangyao once visited today's Iraq, which was the seat of the Arabian kingdom. As for the Muyang dog parrots theory that chemistry comes from ancient Greek alchemy, it's even more ridiculous. The melting temperature of gold smelting exceeds 1000 degrees. Did the pseudo-Greek have a blower to increase the temperature of the furnace? Maybe they could blow fire with a rolling pin back then. The Chinese word chemistry was actually named by Wang Dao, a scholar of the Qing dynasty in China in 1855. Its meaning is professional and accurate, and it is full of the characteristics of Chinese language, physics and chemistry. Scholars of all kinds in China follow in the footsteps of foreigners, copying what others say without seeking truth or falsehood, boasting that this word was invented by some Jesuit Hudson Taylor. It is really parroting without seeking deep understanding. They are also good at adding oil and vinegar to foreigners' claims. The so-called basis is Wang Dao's diary in 1855. On March 31, 1855, i.e., February 14, 1855, Wang Dao and his friend Yu Taifeng went to Mahai Library in nearby gardens to play and visited the so-called Jesuits' tailor. Dai Jun performed a color-changing experiment for them. Wang Dao wrote in his diary, "On 4 out of 10 days, Ding Wei, it was Chenu Taifeng who came to play in the gardens together. It is made of sulfur-strong water." Chinese Heian scholars arbitrarily believed that chemistry was the original word spoken by the priest Hudson Taylor at that time. But this false theory is full of loopholes, and it can be self-defeated after uncomplicated research. 1. Another selfless Jesuit: don't pass on the way of God, but pass on science and technology to the Chinese, and are still very proficient in chemistry. Another idler, right? Why didn't they spread science to the Indians? 2. Wang Dao's diary tells us that he was originally an expert in Chinese chemistry, so he was selected by this Western intelligence theft organization to contribute the Chinese technology in his mind to them in the Mahai Library. And he could see at a glance that his reaction was caused by strong water, sulfuric acid. Sincerely. What is strong water? Only sulfuric acid. This is something that Chinese alchemists have known for more than 1,000 years. The book, Wangdi Juding Shendan Jingju Volume 9, of the Tang Dynasty in the 7th century recorded Hu Gong's method of refining stone gallbladder to extract essence. Sulfuric acid is produced by dry distillation. Strong water is at least what Fang Yiji played in the late Ming Dynasty. The tricks of bluffing people mentioned in the diary were just seen through by Wang Dao intuitively. And it is precisely the Chinese name, chemistry, that Wang Dao chose. 3. The point is, according to the self-proclaimed resumes of Westerners, Hudson Taylor arrived in China in 1854. How could he be proficient in Chinese in less than a year? An evangelist understands chemistry more deeply than Wang Dao, and it's not funny to be able to create new words for Chinese, especially the high-tech Chinese of the year. I think it is true that the magician could not write the Chinese characters Hua and Shui at that time. In the 5 dynasties of China, 10th century AD, Taoist Tan Chao even wrote Washu, but there was no word chemistry. When did chemistry appear? According to research by historians, The Chinese word chemistry appeared in books and periodicals in 1856, the 6th year of Xianfeng in the Qing dynasty. Williamson, British, A. Williamson, 1829 to 1990, used the term chemistry in the book Gewu Tanyuan, which also introduced some chemical knowledge in modern Western science. In addition, the little citation of the issue of the publication Luhe Kongtan, published in Shanghai in 1857, was written by A. Wiley, British, A. Wiley, 1851 to 1887, in 1856. The article reads, quote, ellipsis 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 ellipsis. The two foreigners can write such Chinese characters because of the Chinese scholar Li Shanlin, 1810 to 1882, and others who worked together. When discussing the name of this science, they must think of the cognition of the changes in things accumulated in Chinese culture. Hua refers to change and good fortune in Chinese. So it is both elegant and appropriate to translate English chemistry into chemistry according to its meaning. As soon as the word chemistry came out, it was quickly adopted by the intellectual circles. For example, the Jingxi Tongguan Hall, established in 1862, taught modern astronomy, mathematics, and chemistry. In 1867, the Shanghai Jiangnan Manufacturing Bureau established a translation school to translate books on Geji, chemistry, and manufacturing. Taoist Tan Chao's Hua Shu, the publication, Luhe Kongtan, published in Shanghai in 1857, pictured Gewu Tanyuan, written by Williamson. The term chemistry spread to Japan and had an impact on Japanese academic circles. Previously, when translating some Western scientific works in Japanese literature, the titles were mostly transliterated. For example, Elements of Experimental Chemistry was translated into Chemie Kaizong in 1837, here. Chemie is a transliteration of Chemie, German. In 1862, the Tokyo Institute of Western Medicine established the Secret Bureau, which was the beginning of the establishment of chemical laboratories in Japanese schools. In 1868, the Chemie Bureau was established in Osaka to teach physics and chemistry. Although the pronunciation of chemie is similar to the original text, the meaning is incomprehensible. Not as good as chemistry. So when Japanese scholars see the translation of chemie or chemistry into chemistry from Chinese works, gradually give up secret and focus on chemistry. Chinese characters are commonly used in Chinese and Japanese texts, but the pronunciation is not the same. In 1856, when the Chinese name chemistry appeared, it had been more than half a century since the establishment of Dalton's atomic theory. It was known that there were 64 elements in nature, and it was known that the atoms of these elements interacted to form various compounds. From the beginning, chemistry has gone deep into the level of atoms and molecules to study the law of change of matter.